of many storytelling series. This week's genre will be horror, and here's a story from my own experiences. I was in the office working late on the night of 10th of July to finish some urgent tasks. There were many staff in the office that stayed back, but as time passed, one by one left the office to go home. From my side, I can still see that there's one staff member left on the right wing that was still working. I can see a bit of her hair peeking from the huge monitor in front of her. As I was typing an email, all I could hear was the sounds of my keyboard tapping. Suddenly, I heard a cabinet behind me being opened slowly. I was shocked at first, then turned my head almost immediately to the direction of the sound. No one was there. The cabinets nearby all remained closed. I changed my direction to the other staff's desk. I can no longer see her sitting there. I assumed she may have opened another cabinet that I couldn't see from here. I resumed typing my email. In my mind, this will be the last email I will send before going home. Usually, when I stayed back at the office, there were more than 5 of us together. However, since it was Friday, most of them have already gone back. Then I heard slow steps walking behind me. As they got closer, they stopped. I was so nervous and had goosebumps all over my body. After a few seconds, the steps started back, but instead of moving towards me, they moved back slowly. I was too scared to move around. My hands stopped typing, and all I could do was stare at the screen, perplexed by what had happened. Because the steps were too clear to make it up as just random noises. I looked back at the other staff's table, but no one was there. I gather my courage and speak loudly. "Hello, girl over there, are you okay?" What a terrible decision I made when I said those things. Almost immediately I heard a faint laughter of a woman. At first it was as if she was far away, but slowly getting closer to me. I immediately closed my monitor, making the already dark office even darker once the screen turned off completely. I can see my reflection on the blank black screen. To my horror, I can see someone else standing a bit farther than me at the back. I closed my eyes for a few seconds, and when I opened my eyes back, I could no longer see the figure in the reflection. The time was close to midnight. I gathered my things to go home. I should close off the lights before going home, but after hearing the laughter and the steps, I couldn't bear myself to close all of the lights. As I walked past the other girl's desk, to my surprise, the desk was empty. No staff has been assigned to the desk. Only an old broken monitor is on the desk. I have chills down my spine as I walked even faster to the elevators. My office is on the 25th floor. While I was waiting for the lift to come up, I heard crying. A woman, to be specific, was crying. The sound of crying is not like a normal human's sound. It sounds very eerie and chilling. I pushed the down button many times, even though I knew it would not make any differences. I walked into the lift very fast once it arrived. The lift was so quiet, I started to sweat nervously. My heart was beating so fast. Was inside the lift. I felt like someone was standing behind me. I didn't dare to turn around. However, I strongly felt like someone else was standing behind me. When the lift door opened, I walked out as fast as I could. Then I saw a reflection from the signboard in front of me. From the reflection, I saw there was a very tall lady standing in the lift that I just took now. Then the lift's door slowly closed back. I turned my head to look. Almost immediately, I saw the figure now standing so close to me. A very tall, slim woman with no expressions, wearing a red dress with a very long hair, staring and laughing at me. I was so shocked I couldn't even scream. I ran away so fast I almost hit a lamp pole in front of me. I looked at my watch. The time is 12:10 a.m. So I booked an Uber ride home instead of finding my car. Luckily, there was one driver nearby. I ran to where the car was parked. I met the rider midway and held my hand for him to stop. He was so surprised that I was at a different pickup point. I told him that I just needed to go home fast as it was already late. "Are you okay, ma'am? You look like you just met a ghost or something," the rider said to me. I just laughed and said I was tired from working late. I took medical leave for 2 days because I was so shocked I had a fever. When I went back to the office, I told one of my colleagues, Sarah, about the incident. She looked not as surprised as I expected her to be. Sarah is a senior and has been in the company longer than I. She told me that the desk I saw belongs to a former staff named Lily, who committed suicide in the office building. No one knows the reason why she committed suicide. Lily wore a red dress before jumping off the office rooftop and died almost immediately. Lily was a Chinese, and they have this belief that when someone committed suicide while wearing red, it's because she is being wronged and will seek vengeance after her death. Lily's old desk is always left empty and never assigned to any staff, as there was once the desk was assigned to someone else. She kept hearing voices and could not sleep well, which caused her death to depreciate before she quit the job. There are also many other stories from the staff here about seeing a woman in a red dress when staying late at night. Sarah said that Lily committed suicide around midnight. Later that day, I looked around at the news report regarding her news. From the report, it stated that a CCTV record shows she jumped at exactly 12:10 a.m. on 10th of July 5 years ago. The day I saw the midnight visitor was on 10th of July at the same spot where her body was found dead on 12:10 a.m.